Beware, beware, beware of the big green dragon that sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys, puppy ducktails, and big fat snails. Beware, take care, beware. People, all going somewhere, all with their own thoughts, their own ideas, all with their own personalities. One is wrong because he does right. One is right because he does wrong. Pull the string. Dance to that which one is created for.
Can you, John, can we hear Tom Massengale?
Yes.
Gabriel, you there? Gabriel.
Why, is Gabe coming on?
He was on. Hi, and welcome to Ward 13 with Jon Hopwood, otherwise known as the Philboyd Studge Show. This is this is supposed to be the baseball show, but Joel Elber didn't show up. We have Tom Massengale on, and a new guest, Gabriel Goodliffe. Gabriel, can you hear me? Tom, I'm going to switch to him, and then I might have to call you. Hold on, audience. This is live TV at its finest. Gabriel, you there? Oh, he's on hold.
See, you have to add them.
Hey, what can you do, you know? Okay. Call. Oh, accept. And Gabriel, you there? Video call. Well, we're ringing him. Hey, Tom, how are the Yankees doing? Spring training. Gabriel, there you are. Where did you go?
You keep putting me on hold.
Gabriel, can you hear me?
Now he's on hold.
Okay, Tom, I will call you. What number should I call you? New Mexico?
I'll call the voice line.
Okay, and then we'll get Gabriel. Isn't this fun? Gabriel, you there?
Yeah, but it's probably better that I don't use the camera.
What are you, bloated, fat, drunk again, hungover?
No, I just don't know that. Well, let's see if it works.
Well, I had you for a bit.
Yeah, but then it keeps going on hold.
That's because we had Tom Massengale on.
Oh, all right.
We're going to go with Jon Magee around 1:30. Hey, can we see him, John, on his handsome mug?
No.
Oh, we can't see you.
Hey, John, what's up, man?
I just ran a video tribute to Donald Trump.
Nobody's answering the voice line.
I don't know why that is. We just lost Gabriel. Gabriel, are you there?
The minute I hang up, you'll have him back, but answer the voice line.
It's not coming in, Tom. 603-413-0223.
Oh, it's not. Okay, that's what I was wondering about. Okay.
Okay, let's go back.
You call me from the voice line.
All right, I'll do that.
Can you call me?
Yes, I'll call you.
Okay.
Hey, Gabe, are you there?
No, he's on hold.
All right, hang up.
Because you're not adding your call. You're taking a call and putting the other on hold.
Well, we have our mayor stole all our... It says video call. Call started. Gabriel, are you there now?
This is a disaster.
Hey, this is Manchester, New Hampshire. We got a tax cap. Our mayor stole all our money. Hey, we had a intro, which we'll have to edit. It started out with a montage of Donald Trump. Tom, will you stop? You just cut Gabriel out.
Call me on voice. I'll hang up.
Okay, we're going to use your New Mexico number, right? Okay. Folks, this is television at its best. Jesus Christ. And Joel Elber, where are you when we need you? Enter number. Do you have to do 9, John? Okay. Do you have to put a 1 in? Let's try this. My 13 viewers are going to be... What's going on is you keep hogging the line. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Let me see what
Okay.
Now I'm trying to get Gabriel.
Okay, there we go.
Hey,
You have him back now.
he's not... Oh, there you are.
Yeah, but it keeps going on hold, man.
That's right. Hey, because Tom Massengale, he comes from a privileged background, so he's vetoing you. Kind of like Hillary vetoes Bernie and the DNC.
Yeah, she's the real working class hero fighting against the privileged few in the case of her against Bernie, isn't she?
Well, we can say that. Now, John Eric, can we hear Gabriel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, John, how are you, man?
Fine. And Gabriel, why don't you introduce yourself to the Ward 13 audience? Also, the audience of the Philboyd Studge show.
What, in terms of my career and stuff?
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah, well, my name's Gabriel. I'm a professor in Mexico, but I'm currently on sabbatical in Italy. I work on issues of international political economy, European comparative politics, and international relations.
We had an intro. Tom Massengale's on the line, but he says he can't hear you. Which, Tom, that can be a good thing since poor Bonnie Wright still hasn't recovered from when you steamrolled her.
I can tell you how to add me to his conversation.
Okay. Now, Gabriel, we got about 18 to 20 minutes before we switch over to John McGee. Gabriel does not like baseball. Even though he's a United States citizen, this is some type of sin.
I like to go to baseball games and drink and eat hot dogs, but I'm not I have other sports that I prefer.
Well, we did sneak the scotch into the stadium that time.
By the way, hey, have you seen that the North Dakota is going to play Boston College in the Frozen Four?
No kidding. I still am getting over the humiliation when North Dakota beat BU. What was that, 20 years ago?
It was BU, yeah, that's right.
But they
beat them pretty badly, 6-1 or something.
Well, is it BC this year or BU?
Yeah, BC.
Well, they don't count. Hey, Gabriel, we had an intro, which we'll have to cut out a lot of this Michigas when I put this online. It started out with, the trouble at the Trump rallies, and then I had a few things of the Trump piñatas and Mexicans, doing their thing. And then we had the final shootout from the Wild Bunch, which is such a great movie. I remember I saw it after meeting the Secretary of Labor, who is of Mexican-American heritage. This thing where, Yankees, there's always this strain of movies where Yankees, when everything's at the end of the road, they go to Mexico and raise hell. And of course, William Holden, who was an All-American, top 10 box office star, they just slaughter a couple of hundred Mexicans, including women.
Historically accurate?
Well, it's a Sam Peckinpah movie.
1840?
Did I ever force you to watch Sam Peckinpah movies?
No, you never did.
It was John Waters. What do the people you live in Mexico?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a minute, John.
What?
But
I can tell you how to conference me into this.
They think Trump is a joke. Did you see?
Because I can't hear Gabriel.
How they put a massive,
well, we're talking to Gabriel. We'll talk to you in a bit. Hold on. Tom's acting out his Anglo-Saxon American privilege.
But I think Gabriel and I have an apology to make to you.
About what? I'll
tell you what the conference does.
I don't know how to do that. This is a dry run. We're going to have another baseball show in 2 weeks.
I'll tell you how.
Tom, just quiet down. Gabriel, it's his first time on my show. You're always on.
Quaking out of nervousness.
I'm going to talk to Gabriel about Trump and Mexico. Can't you follow it online?
There's a time delay. It's all screwed up.
It's about 20 seconds. Gabriel, tell us your idea about Donald Trump before you lambast Hillary Clinton and me and thump the tub for Bernie Sanders.
Well, I don't know. I think Jon Stewart hit it on the head back in when Trump announced his candidacy last fall when he called him America's id. This is America's id. he's a real TV, a TV reality star who's coming out as a politician, and most people love it. And I think he's just he's campaigning off the cuff. He's saying what he thinks people want to hear, and a lot of people, particularly the white lower middle class and the white lower class in America, are really responding to what he has to say.
They're responding to what he said.
America racist again.
What?
He's ready to make America racist again.
Again?
Yeah, again?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Well, Tom and I have been spiritually and politically on the same page here, but I don't think they need Donald Trump. It's just it'll be a little more overt with Donald Trump.
Well, the interesting thing,
honest.
the interesting thing I hear, through the entire campaign is people try to equate Trump and Bernie Sanders. They're
people
saying it like it is.
People like you, buddy.
The only thing I can see is that thank God we can't say Gabriel here. You're not going to make any obscene gestures, are you? Then we're going to do some Whitnell. Have you been doing your Whitnell and I? No drinking this morning?
I sent you some, didn't I?
All I'm thinking about
you're gonna lose
now.
your audience with these obscure references, Hop.
All I'm thinking about now is getting down to Mexico City and trying this mezcal you told me about.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Getting you hopped up on that stuff could be dangerous for the both of us.
You mean you remember that time 20 years ago? We won't get into that. That happened twice at City Hall, in fact. The second time, the assistant chief of police the mayor wanted him to arrest me. I hadn't had a drop.
I'm glad that you're in good spirits.
Spirits, strong waters, as I like to call them.
Strong waters, yeah. But anyway, I don't know, man. What do you think of Donald Trump? What are they saying in New Hampshire? I mean, that's a bellwether state. I've lived in D.C. before I went to Mexico. My voice didn't matter at all.
Well, that's true. The most obscure constitutional amendment is the 23rd Amendment that gave representation to D.C. only to vote for president with your 3 electoral college votes. I think of Donald Trump, when they say he says it as it is, he's appealing to, like we're talking about, the working class white people that are incredibly frustrated. But you'll notice that Bernie has a great appeal to working class people too. White people, not people of color, but people that are just screwed by the system. With Bernie, at least he's offering an honest alternative, even though you can quibble whether there'll ever be socialism or real social democracy in America. With Trump, you're having, he goes back to people like Tom Watson of Georgia. These populists. They make their racist appeal, and then they turn the government over right to the plutocrats once they win. It's, old wine and new skins. What are you talking about, Tom?
Huey Long.
Huey Long. But Huey Long, he was a different type of character. George Wallace. Yeah. But what about Mexico? What did they say about Trump in Mexico? Other than they can stick his wall up there.
After he called them prostitutes, rapists, whores, criminals, and maybe there's some nice people there because statistically it's not possible they're all those things. Yeah, obviously they hate him. No, I mean, did you show on your, they have this Easter ceremony in Mexico where they burn the Judas, right?
Oh.
Being a Catholic country that you loathe, burning the Judas is one of
my patron saint is Our Mother of Guadalupe, so don't give me any of that.
Yeah, well, we'll go if you come. Anyway, so they instead of burning him, instead of burning an effigy of Judas, they burned one of Donald Trump, a huge papier-mâché likeness that was like 10 feet tall. They burned it to a crisp.
Hey, what's
this? The only thing else that they did, they also burned one of Obama. So I don't know what to think.
Hey, John Eric, do we have Trumpy Cat? We can throw Trumpy Cat in the background. We have this great picture of Donald Trump as an orange tabby
you have
cat.
In the background? Is that Dreyfus?
That's Dreyfus. Now, we do have, this is a city with a large French-Canadian population. But here we go, that's Trumpy Cat. But the pronouncing French correctly, that's not allowed in Manchester, New Hampshire. Or as we say on the west side, Manchester.
Manchester, but come on. We're really going to talk about the French Canadians in Manchester. They already had vitiated French to make it incomprehensible anyway, man.
It's so much easier to understand, though, than well, you're not a Parisian, but, you speak French perfectly. And too quickly, I might add. I mean, what's trois cognac? Trois cognac. Jeez, it sounds like something obscene, That's my pronunciation of 3 cognacs.
All right.
Yes, sir.
when you're in the military, the only things you know, what is it? Iron Hab, Lita, Pills, and Bitter. You just know how to. Wo is the Bahnhof, because that's where the bordellos are located, and how to order beer and in various languages. Jesus.
Yeah.
But, hey, let's get to Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
You actually... Okay. Yes, Tom.
Let's get to Hillary Clinton.
Well, it's Gabriel's...
Let's talk about Sanders for a second. You know, Tom, Hopwood sent me an individual email yesterday saying he didn't want to admit it, but that Sanders' delegate count looked pretty good, and that he's actually hit, 92% of the actual numbers of delegates that he requires to win?
Right.
As opposed to Hillary, who's at 108. So, you know, even statistically, he's still in this thing. The great travesty of this election, and I'd love to hear what Dave has to say, because he's been like a Debbie Downer on this since the beginning, is that the mainstream press, the way this has been covered, I mean, I actually subscribed to the New York Times for this election season. I shelled out the money. And man, all the articles are like about how he's been done since... Super Tuesday. And the thing
Since
is,
the
there's
second
still
Super
45%
Tuesday.
of the delegates, the pledged delegates, still are up for grabs. It's crazy that this is the kind of... it's as if the press is actively plumping for Hillary Clinton. It's shameful. I've never seen something so disgusting.
He has...
I mean, this is like Stalinist Russia.
I won't go that far, but let's say...
No, it's not.
You need 2,300 delegates. He's got over 1,000. He's less than 300 delegates.
He's 230 down from Hillary. That last week, he reduced her lead of pledged delegates by 25% in one fell swoop. He's going to win in Wisconsin.
By how much?
Big race we'll see. We'll see, but 538, which is evidently the gold standard, totally underestimated the magnitude of his victories in Washington State, in Hawaii, in Alaska.
So they blew those three, too. Because they blew Michigan big time.
Big time. I mean, they thought that he would win by 11 points only in Washington State, and he won by something like 60%. 71% he won. It was crazy. He blew her out totally.
Why do you think that... Okay, Tom, you get your... Tom?
The big story, in the last 48 hours, according to The Guardian, The Washington Post, and The New York Times, each independently with a high-profile editorial, wanted to strongly make the point that Hillary Clinton, according to the Tampa Bay Times, PolitiFact, is not the least trustworthy candidate running for president, but the most trustworthy.
Oh, we want to talk...
I've heard.
Go ahead. We want to talk baseball, and since Gabriel doesn't follow it unless he gets hauled over there and you ply him with strong waters.
I want to know what Gabriel thinks of that, because I find it a little strange that
we want to
all
talk
three
about
papers
Bernie
in the past 48 hours have been hammering home this message, which is obviously not true, that she's the most trustworthy candidate running for president.
Well,
Hey, Tom, have you seen that yesterday Bernie's asked her to debate in New York State,
right?
And she's totally wussing out. She's totally pussying out on.
We don't use a language like that. This is a good, Roman Catholic city. Uh-oh, I think you just got censored.
Did I?
Did you say something obscene?
No.
I see your lips going, and I don't see... It's not John doing this either.
I don't know.
Gabriel seems to have been censored by the Skype gods. There's no audio coming over. Maybe I'll recall you.
Hello?
All right, can you... you going to say... you got 5 minutes. Gabriel?
You hear me?
Add me in.
How do I add him in? Add you in?
I'll tell you.
Tell me how.
Go over the computer.
All right, I'm going over to the computer.
Okay,
Now, you have a trackpad on that computer. Is it a laptop?
No, I don't have a trackpad. It's a, big iMac or whatever the hell they're called.
Okay, then, hold on.
Yeah?
Am I on or not?
Yeah, you're
down.
on. Keep bloviating.
Do you see my
Oh,
name in the
I
list
thought
of
you said I've
recent
been
on the left?
censored.
Do I see what?
My name. Look on the left column, and there's
Yeah, there's your
down
name.
low could be recent people you've spoken to.
Yeah,
Okay, do you see my name?
yeah.
Okay, hold down the control key,
Control, yeah,
and now click on my name
yeah.
and say add people.
Do I still hit control?
You're holding control the whole time, and then you click add people, then you can let go of control.
Okay. Let's see if we can
Okay.
let's see if we can get Big John on.
Hello?
Hey, I see it. Well, I don't see a
Right
picture
on.
of you. I see,
Okay, now we can
Hey,
bitch,
it's Big
John.
John.
Hey.
now we can bitch about Clinton.
John is a respectable person.
He is a respectable person.
I don't think he's
He-
answered us yet.
I'd like it known he voted for Bernie Sanders.
No,
But-
I know he's a respectable person
A-
because
after-
he voted for Bernie.
And we're no memories of any publishing activities in the San Francisco Bay Area in the late '90s. Tom doesn't. I don't think you were involved in that.
I mean,
Robbie, can
don't
you hear
you?
me?
I just see Big John's face. He's probably hasn't joined us yet.
No.
Can you hear me on the mic?
Yeah.
Who's that? Is that you, John?
That's me.
Hey, John, what's up, man? Nice to hear you.
Hey, guys.
We're having what was called in the Army a cluster expletive deleted because of my great ability with technical know-how.
I am shocked
Yeah.
that this is running into technical difficulties.
We are, because Gabriel, the only way Gabriel cares about baseball is if you actually get him a ticket, drive him there, and ply him with liquor, preferably like a hollowed out pair of binoculars with single malt scotch. No Johnny Walker.
That's not true. I'll drink the $20 beers. I don't feel out of place.
We have been talking about Bernie Sanders, except Tom keeps launching these attacks on the character of Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Well, I'm just asking, don't you guys find it strange that after Sanders sweeps on Saturday, on Sunday and Monday, the Washington Post, the Guardian, and the New York Times, the three papers who brought out Snowden, by the way, all seemingly independently launched high-profile editorials, suddenly citing PolitiFact at the Tampa Bay Times, demonstrating that Hillary wasn't the least trustworthy candidate, but in fact the most trustworthy candidate running for president of everyone.
Hey, Tom, can I cut your call off on this end?
Does no one find that strange?
I'm hitting the button.
I saw it already on Facebook. I didn't know that this was,
Hey, what does this have to do with the Detroit... Tom, you there?
Yeah, let's turn off your speakerphone. I'm here.
Hey, John McGee, what are the Tigers going to do this year?
The Tigers are going to be better this year. It would. I would say the years lost 119. So, they're going to be better. They're healthier. They're coming into the year in halfway decent shape. For the first time in a couple of years, Cabrera and Verlander are both entering the season healthy. So, they're kind of old. They're kind of decrepit, but they've actually worked on having a bullpen this year. I think the Tigers are going to be good this year.
Do the Latino players have any opinion about Donald Trump?
So far, I have seen no opinion whatsoever, but I can't imagine he's going to be popular in that clubhouse.
Can you see the background? We have Trumpy Cat, our Ward 13 with Jon Hopwood mascot.
I can see Trumpy Cat.
He is a large orange tabby. I'm actually wearing the orange jacket. It was recovered after being purloined by a reactionary radio host. Gabriel, you look bored.
Now, wait, I'd like to show
What?
John how this is done. Ask me the same question. Because he said we're
all right,
going
guys,
to...
if you're going to go into
Ask
all
me
that
about
side
Yankee.
me.
This is Tom. John, you haven't been on the show. Tom could steamroller Hillary Clinton in a discussion, and Bernie Sanders combined. Bonnie Wright is still recovering.
All right, so
Go
long,
on,
guys.
ask me the
You
question.
Gabriel, you have any last words?
Not really. I just think that New York's going to be determinative. I don't think this thing's sewn up as totally as everybody says.
I agree.
So we'll bring you back on now that we've got you on.
Yeah, with pleasure. It's fun. Anyway, have a fun baseball chat.
That's right, because the last half hour, it's now the official baseball show.
Let's go.
Adios, Gabriel. We don't have to use au revoir or any of that Frenchy talk, you know.
Get out of here, immigrant.
Hey, my middle name is Claude,
Hey, Gabriel,
so
make sure you
French
donate
Canadian
today to
voters,
Bernie
if I'm running
Sanders.
again, John Claude.
Damn, I'm donating $50 tonight, dude.
There you go.
I can buy that bottle of scotch, right?
Yep.
I'm giving him another 27, my third time.
Okay, goodbye. Adios, Gabriel. John
All right,
McGee.
guys. Take it easy. I look forward to the hyperbole on email.
Okay.
Ciao.
Let's get to baseball.
Hyperbole.
Ciao.
That is completely a 100% factual, no exaggerations email thread.
Hey, hey,
Ciao.
John. Gabriel, I thought you're going to listen into this and interject your curmudgeonly views. John, who do you predict in the American League, since we really don't care about the National League here, who are your picks? What are your picks for the division leaders?
Okay, well, let me go back and actually pull up my picks since.
Okay, and then we'll let Tom bloviate about those horrifying Yankees. Hey, Tom.
There we go. I got my picks now.
Oh,
Can I just say, I was very impressed by John's picks, to be honest.
well, let's hear John's picks.
So, I'll give you the picks, and then I'll talk a little bit about how I come up with picks every year.
And
So
you're in
American
a
League-
rotisserie league, a high-end rotisserie league, right?
Yeah, I do. I pull some statistics out of that and add a little eye of newt and wing of bat.
Okay. Hit
So,
it.
in the American League East, I got Toronto number one. They've got real good offense, pretty decent pitching. I think this is, they're finally back all together. Boston coming back at number two. List the Yankees 3, and I have them just missing out on the wild card.
Yankees 3.
And then Baltimore and Tampa down in the basement.
What about
AL
American
Central?
League Central?
AL Central, I have Detroit with a return to all that is good and right in the world in first. Cleveland, Minnesota, and the White Sox in between. And Kansas City, my forecast has them going from first to worst. They've had
That's where you're wrong.
against the odds, but they're missing a few key pieces this year, and I think they regret.
What happened to the Kansas City bullpen? Did they lose their bullpen?
Yeah, injuries, trades. They'll have a decent bullpen, but they aren't going to have that lights out 3 innings every game that they had.
Well, we'll get to our friend Jay Withy's division, the AL West.
Well, I have sad news for Jay because I've got the Oakland A's down in 4th place. They are beating out the Angels this year. The Angels just look like they're going to be terrible. But I have Houston number 1, Texas number 2, Seattle number 3, and the Angels in the basement. Their pitching is just wiped out. C.J. Wilson and Jeremy Weaver both starting the season on the DL. It's not a good sign for them.
Well, who do you think's? Normally you've also done. Did you do picks for who was going to win the playoffs and get into the World Series?
I did. So on the American League side, I went with the completely homer picks for MVP and Cy Young. Miguel Cabrera, Justin Verlander. I think this is probably the last really good year we see out of either one of them. So in terms of the playoffs, I am as I said, I'm forecasting Toronto, Detroit, and Houston for the main spots. I have Boston and Cleveland playing off of that AL wild card spot. And then my forecast has Toronto over Houston in the AL Championship Series, and but we'll get to the World Series in the National League side in a second.
Tom, you have anything to say about your beloved New York Yankees? It has
I'm waiting.
A-Rod's going to retire.
I'm waiting to go back to the AL East. Actually,
AL East. We're going to talk AL East here. John, can we get a picture of my beloved Red Sox in the background? We'll stick with that instead of Trumpy Cat. Well,
now,
in the background, not the entire thing. I like to see my handsome face.
Who, other than David Price, who are the pitchers who are going to carry Boston to second place?
John, you're probably going to know more than I.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to have to go look them up for a second because
it's
a week ago or 10 days ago, Buchholz looked like,
Buchholz
he did not look good.
They've got Kimbrel in the bullpen. That bodes well for him.
Right.
But dude, look at our bullpen.
Koji Uhara's back. I think Rick Porcello is going to have a bit of a bounce back year.
Let's go point by point. John, you got to look at our bullpen.
He's bringing up the Bandidos Yankees.
We've got the only 300 strikeout relievers in baseball. We got all 3 of them. They all throw 100 mile an hour plus fastballs.
Well,
so
yeah, and the Rollers captain eventually come back out of his legal problems. Miller is injury prone.
He's throwing great.
What about
his legal problems are done? He just got to sit out a little bit.
Tom,
and then he's going to come in and mow him down.
Tom, when I say Tom, you're supposed to calm down. After all the shows you've been on. What about you have to get into the bullpen, Tom.
The problem is that their starting pitching is not looking good, and in that little bandbox of a stadium with their little league right field, I don't know how they keep
Yankees. What are you talking about? The Yankees starting pitching isn't looking good. What have you been smoking out there in Michigan? You got to get out of the Jaguar, go into the house, and read up a little bit on our starting rotation.
He's been smoking some of those ballots that the DNC's been hiding.
His arm falls off every year. Is this 350 pounds of CC?
Yeah, but John, don't you get it? This is his year. This is the year we've been waiting for. All the pieces are coming together in the Bronx. And I know you guys are laughing at me now, but wait till October.
So is the over-under on Masahiro Tanaka's UCL, is that about May 7th? I think that's the official date he goes in for Tommy John surgery.
Actually, you picked the guy that I don't have a lot of confidence in.
You're saying CC Sabathia is going to have a good year?
No, I think Nova will wind up being the starter.
Number one starter?
I think CC Sabathia is going to be terrible. He's finished. He might have a couple of runs of a few starts where he does well, but he's done.
So he's like Catfish Hunter in 78 and 79, just through.
Right, but Nathan Eovaldi? Yeah, baby. Michael Pineda? Yeah, of course. And you're right, Tanaka, as you know from our discussions, I said they should have gotten him the surgery when it happened.
I think that's so. Early with half a UCL is just not a good route to go for a starting pitcher.
No, it's terrible. What we've got with Tanaka
he's out for the season. How long does it take?
He actually just pitched a good game, but this is what's going to happen. He's got such guts, that guy, that he's going to have some good games, and then his arm's going to break. And then for like 3 starts, he's going to get shelled, and they're going to say, what's wrong with him? And finally, they'll say, right, he needs the surgery. He needs a rotator cuff. He needs the full surgery, the Tommy John.
I think it's the starting pitcher. The starting pitching is just gonna kill the Yankees. They don't have guys who can, they don't have workhorses, and they don't have depth.
Sir?
The foundation is bad, especially when you're in that small stadium.
I think Nathan Eovaldi is going to surprise you. I think Michael Pineda is going to surprise you.
I think when we get to the end of the season, we're going to say Nathan Eovaldi was what we thought he was.
And what's that, John?
It's a 4.0 ERA and a 1.37 WHIP.
No way. You'll
Explain
see.
WHIP to my viewers.
WHIP is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. It's a pretty good measure of how many base runners a pitcher allows.
Right. It is. It is, but Eovaldi hasn't come into his. He's coming into his own now.
What about middle relief with the Yankees?
They don't need middle relief. They got.
They got an Iron Man staff, right?
It's a good thing they don't need it because they don't have it.
Well, actually, they do. They have Brian Mitchell.
How many stripes does CC Sabathia's uniform have now?
Wait, before you guys keep steamrolling, you're also forgetting a guy named Severino.
I think Luis Severino is actually going to be okay this year.
He's gonna. You think he's gonna be okay? Do you? You think he'll be all right? What are you talking? Like 9 wins, okay, or how many wins?
13.
Actually, I for a dozen wins and a 3.25 ERA. I think he's got.
You heard it here. 17 wins.
13 or 14.
17 plus. And Boston has no starting rotation.
They have David Price.
One guy.
What, Price on the disabled list?
Well, Price can only pitch once every 5 games.
You said there was we didn't have anybody.
No, I said you have one guy.
Oh, I thought you were engaging in what Gabriel called hyperbole.
No, you've got David Price, which was if he's healthy and there's no reason he shouldn't be, that was a great signing.
What does Price, the minus taking away Price from the Tigers, do to your team, John?
That was sad and tragic. Price is really good. There's no denying how good he is. He can't only go out there once a week, but I think Buchholz is better than anybody on the Yankee starting rotation. I think Porcello is as good as anybody in the Yankee starting rotation.
Luis Severino is going to be a superstar.
Luis Severino is going to be I'm writing this one down so we can post it on the FDN. And John, we don't explain what the FDN means.
I hope so, because I kept him in my fantasy baseball league for like $5, but I have him slotted in as the number 3 starting pitcher on my fantasy team. So
that was the best $5 you ever spent. He's going to be your ace.
Why is Toronto going to be such a powerhouse? They're
going to be good. They got rid of Reyes. They finally got a shortstop. They're going to be good. They've got pitching. They've got it all.
How about the Yankees infield?
And isn't Batista in a contract year?
John, is Batista in a contract year?
I think he might be. I'm not quite sure.
I believe he is.
Let me see if I can find my forecast here to look at Toronto.
And if he is, he's going to be hitting the ball like mad.
What is he?
Not that he doesn't normally.
34?
Yeah, so Toronto, I've got, their pitching is okay, but their offense is pretty phenomenal.
Oh, their pitching is very good, I think.
What about Houston? What makes Houston a team of destiny, John?
Houston's got a lot of good young players. They've all come up. They've all been developing. They're all coming in together. So, you've got a little bit of a veteran mix in there. You get guys like Jose Altuve, who sets the table for him. He's gonna hit 320. He's gonna steal 40 bases. I know you're a big fan of him because he is only about 5'5". And then
the Freddie Patek of his generation.
They've got some good sluggers coming up. They've got good pitching. They've got good balance. It's just sometimes a young team comes together and it's their time, and I think it's that time for Houston.
Who's their manager? Who's the manager of Houston?
They have the guy that got he got cut loose by Arizona. I'm trying to remember his name. He used to be a catcher.
I can't remember. It was Dave Colapinto that was memorizing everything. He's probably called it the court.
He got fired by Arizona, and everybody thought he was done. And then he came to Houston.
You're talking about A.J. Hinch.
A.J. Finch?
Yep.
Hinch.
Hey, John, we're going to move on to...
Can I just say, I think Houston has a chance to win it all this year.
Okay, we're going to move into the National League. There are certain signs of the apocalypse.
I want to remind you guys of something.
John, we're moving into the National League.
Hold on. Yankees opening day.
If only I could make an obscene gesture.
Houston is in town, Yankees opening day, next Monday. And I'm a little bit worried because who the fuck is there a Kutchel?
What did you say? John, we're going to go to the National League now.
The family-friendly National League.
I can't believe we've F-bombed. And it didn't take Bernie Sanders. It didn't take Hillary. It didn't take Trump. It took the New York Yankees. My sister had laid wager on me. This is a true story. My family laid a wager on me when I'd F-bomb as soon as on the air. My older sister took 1 week. My brother Guy got 1 month. And then my older sister's she was cannier. She took after 1 month, and she won the bet. Hey, there are certain signs of the apocalypse. Bernie Sanders, a socialist, could win this nomination, which might not be such a bad thing. Donald Trump, who the Pope called the Antichrist, or at least the New York Post did, could win the presidency. And what about the Chicago Cubs? If that
is my final sign of the apocalypse.
Final sign.
2016 is the last year of humanity's reign on Earth because I do have the Chicago Cubs to win the World Series.
No way! Come on. Theo abandoned the Red Sox. He can't have another World Series
Theo
victor.
pulled the Red Sox off the scrap heap, did the miraculous, picked them up a couple World Series, and now he's doing the same in Chicago. He's assembled a good team, a young team, and they are strong on both sides of the ball.
They disappointed. They had, remember when they had Snell?
Wait a minute, Hopwood.
Then they had Dusty Baker.
Yeah, he put the Red Sox back on, but what did he do? He saw how Bonds was doing out in San Francisco, so he went out and signed the 2 biggest Peds abusers he could find.
All right, Tom, there's a button over there. You've already sinned.
World Series.
And might I say that was a very successful strategy for winning baseball in that era.
Particularly with the New York Yankees locker room being, Ped Central. Well, other than over at San Mateo, but we won't get into that.
I'm just saying, these trophies are tainted.
Oh, jeez. So is everything in that era.
And as we know, the Yankees have never had anything stronger than carrot juice.
No, they drink green tea. What about A-Rod? Is he retiring?
Only Alex.
No A-Rod discussion.
Only Alex before he came to New York.
We got 10 minutes, and we're going to discuss the National League.
And then he saw the error of his ways. He said, "No, be pure."
Right, and then he finally won a World Series.
Yeah, he stayed away from strip clubs, right? Hey,
so you want to go down the divisions and see who I have there?
Well, I'm just going to say one more thing about the Cubs. I remember when they picked up Andy McPhail, who had been the general manager of the Minnesota Twins and won the 2 World Series. Oh, the Cubs, we're going to win now. Then they pick up Lou Piniella. Oh, we're going to win now. Then they get Dusty Baker. Oh, we're going to win now. If they win the World Series, I'm going to be calling Gabriel in Mexico and really moving. Because we'll know that Donald Trump's going to be president. Okay, your National League picks.
So, National League East, I have the Mets finally making it back to the playoffs and winning the NL East.
Okay.
Then Washington, Miami, Atlanta, and Philadelphia in the basement. Philadelphia is going to be epically bad this year. In the NL Central, I have the Cubs winning the Central.
Right.
Then the Cardinals, the Pirates, the Reds, and Milwaukee. And in the NL West, I have the San Francisco Giants picking up another division title, and then followed by the Dodgers, Arizona, Colorado, and San Diego.
It's 2016. The Giants win in even years. 2010, 2012. Gee, they've won 3, right? 20. Did they win?
And they definitely improved.
They've won 3 now.
It's unbelievable, because all the years we were suffering out there, we were in the Bay Area.
Sitting up there at 58 degrees in Candlestick Park.
In August. In the middle of August. And watching a baseball literally being held aloft by some type of, what would you describe it? I guess the word genie comes from the word gin, which originally was some type of small wind, in the desert. I remember you'd have to have a good outfield at the old Candlestick Park. But,
did you come on the 4th of July expedition? It was a doubleheader on the 4th of July that we made one year, and we went down, watched both ends of it, and the night game went into extra innings, and the fog came in so hard you couldn't see a pop-up. Pop-ups would go up, and you couldn't see them. And then after the game, they shot off the fireworks, and you couldn't see a single explosion because there was so much fog. All you could see is like flashes of red, flashes of green.
That's like Monterey, California. It's that way every year on the 4th of July. You just see the fog. Was that the new park you're talking about, or Candlestick?
No, that was at the old park. That was a Candlestick.
Candlestick was unique. I haven't been to the new park. It's supposed to be great.
New park is really nice. The place where it is, I mean, it's on the bay, so it's never going to be warm.
Right.
But it's a lot more protected from that fog that used to whip through that notch. So
Yeah.
it's
Gentlemen, can we talk about the coming season rather than our teenage years?
I wish they were teenage years. I'd still be in my 30s.
I'd like to go back
He
to
just
the
doesn't, John.
NL Central.
John, just one thing. He doesn't want me talking about this abomination, the New York Yankee Stadium. We'll just leave it there.
I'd like
$1
to
billion
go back to the
for
NL
a concrete dump. Okay, let's get
I
that.
have to admit, I haven't been to the new Yankee Stadium yet, so I can only judge it by the large number of home runs over that little tiny right field fence.
It's ridiculous.
Actually, though, if you search to see what are hitter-friendly parks, you'll find the Yankees statistically doesn't rank high, surprisingly.
That's the official like New York Post statistics. Let's go back to the National League.
And did you realize that Hillary Clinton is the most trustworthy candidate running for president?
Well, Hillary Clinton was a Cubs fan before she became a lifelong Yankees fan. Let's get back to the National League Central, John.
Yeah. I think the team we don't want to sell short is St. Louis.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
John, what's your take on the Cardinals this year?
They always find a way to do it, but I don't think they make it this year. I don't think they even make the wild card. I think they're just a little bit thinned out. They don't have quite enough hitting. They don't have quite enough pitching. Having picked against them, it wouldn't surprise me to see them back because I think they're a pretty good team, and they do all.
How many times have we said that, and then they find these guys in their minor league system who show up and do the job?
We're talking.
I mean, they're
Anybody
such a
wants
well-run
baseball.
organization.
Matt Connerton just showed up, but not a baseball fan. We're in the 4th inning of our baseball chat. My friend Tom Massengale's on. He's trying to turn everything into a diatribe. John, go ahead.
Sorry, we're Cubbies. I think the Cubbies just have too much pitching talent, too much hitting talent. They're just gonna jump out of the gate and they're gonna go all the way. Then humanity will either come to an end, or all of America will reject Clinton and Trump, and by unanimous acclaim, elect Theo Epstein as the next president of the United States.
Vermin Supreme.
I know they play a lot more they play a lot of night games now, but the Cubbies play so many day games, and it's sad but true. They're always fucking exhausted when September.
Jesus, Tom, what is wrong with you? We talk about all this stuff and politics. You've never F-bombed in your life. That's the second F-bomb. He's talking about the Yankees.
And he does it when John's not near the dump button.
We have a dump button? Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Can I say friggin'?
Yes, you can.
But you can't say F-bomb. Good God.
Baseball gets them all riled up, I guess, huh?
Oh, yeah, if we just insulted
the
Yankee
Cubbies
Stadium.
have had great teams in the past, but they're always tired in September because they get worn out with so many day games.
Who are we talking about? The Yankees?
The Cubs.
The Cubs. The Cubs are...
I think the Cubs will be fine. The reason they get worn out traditionally is because they're awful teams.
No, they've had some good teams that have gotten worn out. 1969, they were a great team.
Are we talking about the Mets now? Or the Cubs?
Cubbies.
The Cubs had Leo DeRocher as manager in '69.
Yeah.
They were the favorites.
Just realized you found your jacket.
Oh, yeah. We got 2 minutes left, Tom. Do you want to keep F-bombing? John McGee.
I want to talk about the 16 Yankees.
20 or 30-day games for other teams. I think
Hey,
it's
Tom.
not that big a deal. I think the reason the Cubs have always collapsed in September is because they're a terrible team. They've been a terrible team for about, a century or so. With a few notable exceptions.
They've had some good teams, John.
Okay,
There's
Tom.
notable exceptions people did, but for the most part, they've been
You're
terrible.
afraid to let Tom talk now.
Have you bought
Okay,
the-
we're signing off on the baseball show. Tom, you shut your cake hole. John, do you have anything to say?
John gonna buy the F-Type.
Hey, after the Cubbies win, do we come back on and Tom gets to apologize to me?
Well,
Yeah,
we're going to have
I'll
another baseball show soon. I don't know if Tom's going to be on it, though.
No, I'll just lie and say I never said that.
And if the Yankees make the playoffs, I'll come on and apologize to him.
You don't
Tom,
need
you
to
still...
apologize.
Jeez. Okay, folks. Matt Connerton's going to be on next. Matt, goodbye, guys. Adios.
Okay. Go
No more
Tigers, John.
F-bombing.